Chapter Steps of Hindu Philosophic Thought, Part 3. When through good deeds all its sins and misdeeds have been washed away, then the jiva becomes pure again. And when it becomes pure, it goes to what is called Devayanya. Its organ of speech enters the mind. You cannot think without words. Wherever there is thought, there must be words. As words enter the mind, so the mind is resolved into the prana and the prana into the jiva. Then the jiva gets quickly out of the body and goes to the solar regions. This universe has sphere after sphere. This earth is the world sphere, in which are moons, suns, and stars. Beyond that, there is the solar sphere, and beyond that, another which they call the lunar sphere. Beyond that, there is the sphere which they call the sphere of lightning, the electric sphere, and when the jiva goes there, there comes another jiva already perfect to receive it, and it takes to another world, the highest heaven, called the Brahmalok, where the jiva lives eternally, no more to be born or to die. It enjoys through eternity and gets all sorts of powers except the power of creation. There is only one ruler of the universe, and that is God. No one can become God. The dualists maintain that if you say you are God, it is a blasphemy. All powers except the creative come to the jiva, and if it likes to have bodies and work in different parts of the world, it can do so. If it orders all the gods to come before it, if it wants its forefathers to come, they all appear at its command. Such are its powers, and it never feels any more pain, and if it wants, it can live in the Brahmalok through all eternity. This is the highest man who has attained the love of God, who has become perfectly unselfish, perfectly purified, who has given up all desires, and who does not want to do anything except worship and love God. There are others that are not so high, who do good works but want some reward. They say they will give so much to the poor but want to go to heaven in return. When they die, what becomes of them? The speech enters the mind enters the prana enters the jiva, and the jiva gets out and goes to the lunar sphere where it has been a very good time for when it has where it has a very good time for a long period. There it enjoys happiness so long as the effect of its good deeds endures. When the same is exhausted, it descends and once again enters life on earth according to its desires. In the lunar sphere, the jiva becomes what we call a god, or what the Christians and Mohammedans call an angel. These gods are the names of certain positions. For instance, Indra, the king of the gods, is the name of a position. Thousands of men get to that position. When a virtuous man who has performed the highest of Vedic rites dies, he becomes a king of the gods. By that time, the old king has gone down again and become man. Just as kings change here, so the gods, the devas, also have to die. In heaven, they will all die. The only deathless place is Brahmalok, where alone there is no birth and death. So the jivas go to heaven and have a very good time, except now and then when the demons give them chase. In our mythology, it is said there are demons who sometimes trouble the gods. In all mythologies, you read how these demons and the gods fought, and the demons sometimes conquered the gods, although many times it seems the demons did not do so many wicked things as the god. In all mythologies, for instance, you find the devas fond of women. So, after their reward is finished, they fall down again, come through the clouds, through the rains, and thus get into some grain or plant and find their way into the human body when the grain or plant is eaten by men. The Father gives them the material out of which to get a fitting body. When the material suits them no longer, they have to manufacture other bodies. Now, there are very wicked fellows who do all sorts of diabolical things. They are born again as animals, and if they are very bad, they are born as very low animals or become plants or stones. In the Deva form, they make no karma at all. Only man makes karma. Karma means work which will produce effect. When a man dies and becomes a Deva, he has only a period of pleasure, and during that time makes no fresh karma. It is simply a reward for his past good karma. When the good karma is worked out, then the remaining karma begins to take effect and he comes down to earth. He becomes man again. And if he does very good works and purifies himself, he grows to Brahmaloka and becomes back and comes back no more. The animal is a state of sojourn for the jiva evolving from lower forms. In course of time, the animal becomes man. It is a significant fact that the human population is increasing and the animal population is decreasing. The animal souls are all becoming men. So many species of animals have become men already. Where else have they gone?